Hey guys,
I guess it works, man. It's working again. Cannot complain.
hi, how are you feel? How are you feel out there? My name is Cousin. They are filling in for my cousin Charlie Iona. I'm cousin Iona.
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Yeah, we had to get the buzzaroo today.
I see that, man. That's a really nice haircut, bro. I'm about due for one too, man. I'm about due for one too.
Yeah, boy, I just felt the need for speed today by zipping it off. When I do one of these, I hum the song, zippity doo dah, zippity. Yep.
Hello and welcome everybody. My gosh, we got somebody from LA.
Oh,
Lane.
aloha.
Hello, hey man. You guys gotta stay safe up there, guys. In LA and in
Yeah.
California and so scary right now. And I hope you Californians and your Texans and your Floridians and all of you guys don't get offended by the people in Hawaii are being so concerned about travelers. You know, it's not intended to be offensive. It is really, we just really want to keep our place safe, and we welcome the visitors. Right now, we asking our visitors to take it easy, relax, wait until it's safe to travel. And that's not just what we're saying; that's what the CDC is saying. So we appreciate all of our brothers and sisters on the continent, but we're really concerned. Our resources are very limited. We're surrounded by water. We don't have the ability to drive an ambulance to a neighboring county or state. So it's never intended to be offensive, but we are definitely concerned. And I think the bottom line, yes, Lane, I know it's crazy. We read the reports and it's so scary, so scary. We pray for all of you folks. We definitely all pray for all of our friends and families there on the mainland. Just got off the phone with my daughter, in fact, and they're doing okay. They're doing fine, but we worry so much. This virus is it's such a dangerous virus. Marie says CDC website as of 113 recommends two tests and a full and reduce non-essential activities for a full 7 days after travel. Yeah, I mean, we know what the CDC is saying. They've been saying it for a long time, and unfortunately, in Hawaii, we take it out of context and we take parts of it that fits their purpose, but they don't cover the whole recommendations. It's very easy to do, but very dangerous to do. And there's going to be a day that we can all travel freely, and it's going to be a while, but we just got to be careful. We got to be careful.
Yep. I have to say.
Uh, Cindy Edgerland says, if you folks have time to answer, if I go to Oahu for the day to get a checkup, then come back the same day, what do I need to do? You need to get a um, um, modified quarantine exemption from the county of Kauai. So go on to the Kauai.gov website. Right on the top, there's a little button you push for the modified travel exemption. Complete that. Put in your travel information, your dates and times, your flight numbers.
Yeah.
Do that early though, and then that'll go to the county, and the county will approve it. So
Hmm.
that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
It's
I
not.
had another question earlier. It was posted on I forget what page about the what requirements if you go to Oahu. So again, Oahu doesn't have a quarantine, so you can fly to Oahu freely. You can just get on a plane and go to Oahu. Coming back though, you gotta safe travel. It's a safe travel program, so you need the qualified test from a safe, what do you call it, trusted partner. It's got to be done 3 days before you leave to come back to your home island, and you have to have the negative result before you get on that plane, before you board. So make sure you plan all these things out before you decide to travel. Medical reasons, you use the exemption, use the quarantine or the modified exemption.
But
For
don't you also have to stay in one resort bubble? No.
If you no, not inter island, no. Now inter island, if you don't have the 3-day test, if you don't have that result, then yes, you can elect to stay in a resort bubble, or you can quarantine at home for 10 days.
Yeah. Oh, so the quarantine in a resort bubble is when you come out of state.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So inter island, you just got to quarantine at home for 10 days. And that is a quarantine. No leaving whatsoever. So you gotta plan your trip right. If you're only gonna go for the day or overnight, try and get that exemption. That way you don't have to worry about it. But if you're gonna wait for a week or so, then make sure you get your testing schedule all in place so you don't get stuck at the airport and delay your return. So and we'll see how, that's what it is today. And I don't know, where we're going. I don't know where we're headed. The numbers appear to have gone down again today, statewide numbers. But we had 3 more deaths. So, while you can celebrate the low numbers, 3 deaths are nothing to celebrate. And I think that's when I talk about taking things out of context, you can talk all the good things about our numbers are going down, but when your deaths are going up, what's the celebration? What's the happiness? There ain't none. 1 death is too many. And the way I look at it, Charlie, and maybe I'm off, but with COVID, we can prevent most of the disease. We can prevent it by being smart and being safe. And that's us as individuals. Now, I also expect the state to be responsible and implement laws and rules and regulations that protect us. And that is what is lacking, in my opinion. That is what is lacking, in my opinion. They're jumping about the vaccine. I don't know if you saw Ed Case's interview, but he, I think it was yesterday, he blew a gasket. He said we had over 100,000 doses in Hawaii and we've only used 40,000. And the Department of Health says, well, we don't, it's higher than that. We aren't counting right. There's always an excuse, bro. There's always an excuse.
Well, the ugly part about it is, and I would urge everyone to please just be cautionary when you hear excuses like that, is that if in fact during this troubled time their counting is off, can you imagine if we had a full-blown earthquake, hurricane, acts of war, whatever, right? And the government who supposed to be leading the way for us, giving us misinformation, wouldn't that be a kick in the pants? I mean, I don't know. It's just very frightening. And but I did want to talk about some things, and that is, I'm still trying to piece together this report I put up with Hawaiian Airlines. And I did apologize. I misquoted, because I meant to say out of 43 tests given, 25 were positive, not negative. I used the word negative. So I changed that post. But after talking with several sources close to the airline industry, and they've seen that report, they have indicated to me that those numbers reflects under the wing. That's what they call under the wing. So you're talking about the ground crew, right? You're talking about the mechanics, the maintenance crew. You're talking about the baggage handlers. You're talking about the ticket agents. That's what you call under the wing. So it brought a little concern, because they're not counting any of the flight crew, which is your flight attendants and pilots. They don't count that. And again, I did see a Vimeo, Vimeo, video of the COO for Hawaiian Air talking about the numbers that's reported, and he says it is, all he could say was it was like the off-duty time of those employees from gatherings. Why I find it hard because I've got nearly 2 weeks worth of those reports, and everyone has numbers like that: 48, 50 tests, 25, 30 positive cases. You know what I mean? So are you telling me that they're going out almost every day and gathering every day and getting sick every day? So something's happening. So I was under the, I was under the impression that, and this is, I'm going to ask you now. I'm a baggage handler. Maybe I know or I don't know that I'm infected, right? I start having a little scratchy throat, but nothing much that seems minor. I'm working under the belly of the plane. I start coughing all over the baggage. Is it possible that the virus I'm coughing up lands on the baggage, stays on the baggage? If the passenger don't disinfect well, they could probably get sick from that, right?
Hmm.
Because the baggage
Absolutely.
is stuck to right? Yeah. So, the numbers that you've seen that I've posted, they're very disturbing, especially when they're over constantly running 50% or more of those tested. And again, this does not include the flight crew. So that means that one or two things are happening. Something real bad is happening, or because if you look at their numbers alone, just under the wing, you know that they're running more positive cases than the county of Maui. And they're just one company, one airlines.
Yeah.
That is kind of frightening. And I just hope and pray they can bring it under control.
Yeah. I hope so. I mean, yeah, we talked about it last night about why 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 is no one talking about it? Um, and it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. But on that note too, though, I want to say that I see a lot of pictures, and it's like recently, within the last week, I've seen. I don't know why. A lot of our local residents are out and about, are congregating, are with old friends, are at restaurants or golf courses, or all grouped together taking that selfie, all normal mask, and that's part of the problem. So while we oftentimes talk about the travel related cases because we know it exists, we definitely know it exists. It exists here on Kauai. We know that for a fact, and I would assume that the proportionate numbers would be the same on the other islands if they tested and counted like we do. But nonetheless, our local residents are out there and they are taking selfies of gatherings, and that doesn't help people. That doesn't help. And I know I'm probably rubbing somebody the wrong way. Oh, but that's my friend. He's part of my bubble. No, your bubble is your house. That's your bubble. Your husband, your wife, your kids. That's your bubble. Your bubble isn't your high school classmate. And then we just assume that they're negative and we assume that we're negative. Guys, come on, man. I see that. I get so frustrated and it's like, come on. Some of these people are the very ones that are out there yelling about the tourists. And yet we, our own people, are acting irresponsibly. So please, guys, just hang on, man. Hang on. We whatever you do, but please don't post it on Facebook because you're just irritating a lot of people. Irritating a lot of people that's sacrificing every single day. Every single day, we consciously stay away from loved ones and gatherings because we care about everybody else. And so many people are just disregarding that and then broadcasting it on Facebook. And it's not cool. So bottom
Mhm.
line, it's not cool. And everybody has the right to do what they want, but now is the time that we got to really be disciplined. Really got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
I don't know why too, because I follow Facebook every day. I just noticed in the last week I've just seen a lot of that. And I think, it's this type of activities, this type of behavior that's going to throw us backwards. That very innocent gathering, that's how you get the cluster. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Please, guys, just be disciplined, man. Stay safe. When we talk about being safe, that's what we mean.
Mhm.
We're not saying be safe and only talking to the tourists, talking to the locals. We all are just as vulnerable to this virus as every place else.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I do want to share too is so many things happen, and it's hard to fathom because in the early stages we did it. We saw it happen when we started with our flattening the curve. That's how you got that, you know, the Mel and Charlie show, flatten the curve. We had our little niche with singing one flat song and all that, and it worked. The Kauai people. You know, I would I would be very very interested, but I don't think we can pull it off. I don't think the state can pull it off. If this state would go into an immobilizing position just for a week, just for a week, that means no congregating, no nothing, and see how the number. See, I would say that we would kind of be in a good position if Oahu had between 5 and 10 reported cases, Maui had between 2 and 5 reported cases, Big Island the same, and Kauai one. Then I'd be jumping for joy, right? We can't even get near that. And so, what is that?
Lanai got one today too, Charlie. Lanai got one. A student in the school got one. And Lanai again. Here we go.
Yeah.
What was that? Community spread from a community that was virus free? Good
So
question.
I'm looking at that. If that would just prove a point that if you went 1 week on a lockdown, nothing moved, and we have numbers to show that, then that in and of itself would be a key indicator, I think. But we will never know because of the behavioral patterns that many that don't want to follow the rules because they believe it's a God-given right, and I get it.
You know,
It would kind of hurt the integrity of that program if we were to look at getting some kind of data that yes, this thing does work. I believe it will. I believe it will.
well, we know it works, Charlie. We know it works. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. And my grandma used to say, you make your bed, you sleep in it. That's just how this thing works. We can sacrifice for a little while and get paid dividends, or we can not sacrifice and just extend this whole damn pandemic forever, really. If we don't stop it, it's not going to end. It's going to keep on going. It's going to be a long time before we even see herd immunity. I mean, trust me, I think throughout the country, we're at 3% of the population. We're so far away. It's going to be a while to get everybody vaccinated. And that's just that's another hour show, just that in and of itself. But so that's why we got to take it upon ourselves. We gotta act like we have the virus and don't come in contact with anybody that you can pass it to. And if you do, wear your mask and keep your distance.
But
And that is what we just got to do that. That's the best we can do right now.
but that approach, and I agree that approach just doesn't seem to be working. What other approaches can we think of doing?
There is actually no other approach, Charlie. The only other way is to isolate the virus, right? I mean, there's other things that the state can do. The state can have quarantine hotels, not bubbles. I'm talking about quarantine hotels where when you come, guess what? You're going to stay in that hotel. You're not leaving that hotel. You're going to stay in that hotel for the duration of your quarantine. That would isolate the virus. There's other, enforce the rules. The 25 people outside, enforce the rules. The social distancing, wearing the mask, enforce the rules. The government has to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been singing this song for a long time, Charlie. And nobody listens. We talk a good story. The government does. They talk a really good story. They act like they mean it, but they don't. And there's no power behind the punch. There's none. It's all Waha. And I catch this question real quick. Stan Kua says, we can't have high school sports, but senior Kupuna softball is okay. Asking for a high school athlete. Try explain that one to me, Charlie. Can you explain that one to me?
Senior
Really?
softball.
Yeah. So senior softball, the vulnerable age group are allowed to play softball, but our young student athletes cannot.
Well, I can say this: the young athletes are more aggressive. They are more fast. Therefore, they could probably spread the virus quicker. Our kupunas, because they're moving uh, nowhere near the sound barrier, uh, the likelihood of them, in fact, they, I don't think they can outrun the virus. I mean, they'll go neck and neck and the virus will pull away from them. So I think that's why they allow the sports for kupunas.
I
That is,
like that answer, but yet, I guess what the athletes are asking, you could make it as safe as possible.
yeah,
You
yeah,
could,
yeah,
the baselines. You just set the rules. You cannot. I mean, it's going to be difficult, and I'm not talking about football or I'm talking about baseball because that's what we're comparing. I guess we're real quick to pull the trigger on things like that, and not even school, even school. I mean, we don't focus on the state doesn't focus on getting our kids back in school. It's always the easy way out, and with the sports is the same thing. I agree with Stan. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen what happens after a senior softball game. I don't know if you've ever watched what happens after a senior softball game. And trust me, I mean, I almost hate saying it, but it's true, right? The congregation happens. And so it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm just saying that with some modified
Well,
rules
there's a little
for the
difference.
youth
I,
sports, I
I,
think we could make it safe.
I've been together. I've been at kupuna congregating. They got music, but a lot of the music is like Andy Williams, not the kind, hey, hey, jumping on the table, you know, acting all crazy. Um, but I'll be very interested to find out the reasoning behind opening one and not the other. Now, I know, I know that with regards to high school sports, especially on Oahu, they went, they went through some really fact-finding mission but I don't know if it's the amount of positive cases they had that said, okay, we got to shut it down. I don't think it was that, but they came to a conclusion that no.
Yeah. No, I just think they couldn't tell the seniors no, and it was much easier for them to tell the kids yeah, to tell them no. I think that's kind of how it fell, and that senior softball is
You're
very
you're
healthy for
probably
these.
you're probably right because I've been at get together with seniors and you try to tell them no,
Yeah.
and you get like about 45 pairs of false teeth come flying at you. It's not a pretty thing, let me tell you.
And it's a again it's a double-edged um, sword because you want to see the seniors get out and be active, but you want them to be safe as well, and we do want the same for our kids. So, and then how about this one, Charlie? How about this one? Churches,
Uh,
churches. I'm gonna get zapped by lightning, but you guys gonna be my witness. But you look at this thing, Charlie. You know this, man. You was a cop. You were put in charge of projects to solve a problem.
yeah,
And you don't go in half-assed. If you want to solve the problem, then you solve the problem. But
yeah.
churches are free to do what they want. They're free to regulate their own church, and that is a problem. That is a problem because that is where
But isn't
congregations have to
part
happen
of the investigation revealed, especially in the mainland, that large gatherings at churches was the culprit?
in
I mean,
many clusters. In
many.
many clusters, and here in Hawaii too, we know for a fact we had clusters come out of church.
Mhm.
but no politician is brave enough to say no. Online churches. You telling the kids you got to go online school, then you know what? You have to you gotta be across the board because the virus don't care if it's a schoolhouse or a church house. They don't care. The virus does not care. So, and that to me, I think is where the problem lies, right? Because you're allowing certain organizations to operate as if we didn't have the virus. And I tell you, and I personally have received two complaints on Kauai churches that don't require masks.
Yep.
I did turn them in to the enforcement arm. You know, the fact that you're a church or you're a Christian or you whatever religion you belong to doesn't give you the right to endanger other people. So if we're serious about ending the virus, then we, like I said, we gotta everybody's gotta sacrifice. Everybody, including churches, including funerals, including everything else.
You know, in order for this, I'm gonna say this, and I know plenty of people are not gonna agree, but I'm gonna say it anyway. In order for us to get back to normalcy, you know, when you take the vaccine, if Hawaii as a total population has 70,000 people, all 70,000 got to be vaccinated. Because if there should ever be a clash between two people, one not vaccinated and one vaccinated, the one not vaccinated gonna get sick. If you're on clash between two people vaccinated, the symptoms are gonna be very mild to the point it's not gonna be as deadly as it is now. That's just how it works.
That's what it boils down to.
So, you know,
That's what
it's
it boils
just
down
like,
to.
you know, people ask, you know, why is there this law about bumper height? The reason being that should, when it comes out of the factory, should you have an accident, bumper meets bumper. That's the purpose. Okay. But when you go alter that and you make one over higher than the other and two guys crash, and then you wonder why one truck climbed all over the other car, it's because there was no bumper meeting bumper. That's the danger. So
Hey,
it's just
Charlie.
like vaccine.
So
Yeah.
I got a question, Charlie. William Van Osdale.
Yeah. Billy V.
That's Billy V, right?
Yeah.
He's on our show, bro. He's watching.
Oh,
Ah, I'm like, bro, we have arrived, Charlie. We
yes.
have arrived. Billy V is watching the Mel and Charlie show.
Yeah. Papa Makeke himself.
Pop up Makeke. I tell you, that guy gets the best radio voice I've ever heard.
Yep.
See what I'm doing, Charlie? I'm stroking him right now because my next question gonna be Billy V. We want you to come on our show, bro. You can message me. I never met you. I don't know who you are, but now the whole world knows that we invited you, so you cannot say no. I love you, man. I love the brah.
Yeah. William
I
Von Arn.
enjoy. I
And then
enjoy
he
you on the
was on
radio. I enjoy you on TV. So
Hawaii
we'd
News
love to
Now.
have you on, man, just to give us your perspective. Let me just read what he said. He said, I think we missed the opportunity already. We missed the boat. We had the chance to get this done and we missed it. We will not get another opportunity until we're all vaccinated.
Mhm.
Words of wisdom from Billy V.
Yep.
Look, they're all asking, get him on, get him on. I wonder if he get one. I bet he get one agent. I bet he gonna ask for money.
You know, he'll always say, he goes, Aloha, this is Billy V. Hawaii
Right,
News
you saw
Now. We'll be right back.
Billy V is on Mel and Charlie. I am stoked, bro. I am stoked. It's almost like having Elvis Presley, but we couldn't get
There he
Elvis.
says, can do. You let me know when.
Ah, I
Yep.
see it. I see it. Look at that. All right. That sounds like a plan, bro. Sounds like a plan. Tomorrow night,
But
by the way, we have
but I'll
Dr.
tell you, you know, his pronunciation is so impeccable.
It's
That's why I couldn't
incredible.
do it. You know, he'll come up, he goes, and now, Kumuhula, Yola Lama Lila from the island of Maui. Please welcome Kumuhula. He can rattle it off. If it was me, I would be like, wait, mistake, That guy can read. Not only can he talk well, he gets speed reading eyeballs. He can see things fast.
Yeah, his voice is just amazing, man.
Unbelievable.
It's gonna be awesome. I was thinking just hey, bring him on tonight, but I don't like because we only get half an hour left, so I'm gonna save him for the full hour. Sorry, Billy V. We're gonna get you on maybe Saturday. How about Saturday night? You probably get an engagement. You're probably doing a pageant or Poku Awards or some big gala. Not because it's COVID. So Saturday, man, we'll try Saturday. I will definitely message you after the show.
If not, I will come on Saturday and I will be Mr. Aloha. Danny Kalekini here with
There
Polly
we go.
Reed. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Hey, you know what? Speaking of vaccinations, thank you, Billy V, for bringing that up because you're so right. I know there's a lot of people asking about vaccinations. How can I get my vaccination? And I saw a little dialogue going back and forth about the CDC changed its recommendation now to 65, and they did, but it's not in Hawaii yet. We run about 2 light years behind, so uh, I understand maybe next week. But for now, it's 75. But more importantly, people, especially on Kauai, because I cannot speak for the other islands right now. I did see something on the news that they're opening it up. Hawaii, what's that other? What's their Hawaii Health Corporation? No, what's the Honolulu one?
That's HP. I mean, that's a Pacific. That's a straw.
Hawaii Pacific Health. Hawaii Pacific Health.
Straw.
Go to their website and they will
You see
tell
the
you
email.
how Honolulu.
You see the email coming across.
Yeah, I got them. I got them. Thank you, Billy. Um, so for Kauai, this is only for Kauai. If you're 75 or above, you can, and I'm going to post up the website right now so you guys will see it. But you guys get to get a vaccine. Friday is the first day. I'm told that they're booked already. Friday's out. But next Tuesday and next Friday at KVMH and Mahilona, you can get your vaccine if you're 75 and over. The good thing is if you bring a caregiver takes you to your daughter or your son or your granddaughter, your grandson, they take you, they're eligible to get the vaccine too. So two of you can get vaccinated at the same time. So ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are 75 and over, or those of you that know someone that may not be on the show that's 75 and over, you don't have to be a son or daughter. You can be a friend. Get them to register online and get your appointment made, okay? So I'm going to post this up real quick.
I would like to say, please, folks, when the opportunity is to get the vaccine, do not delay. And I'll tell you the reason why. The objective is getting the vaccine into people's arms, okay? When you delay, when you hold down, when you delay that conveyor belt, there is a trickling effect that everything delays after that, okay? And it's just like how I told my personnel, I giving you one shot, you go on these dates, you don't want, you go to the back of the line, and that might be maybe next year sometime, up to you. You guys decide, because this is nothing to fool around with. This is nothing to fool around with.
Okay, so this is the website, everybody, kauai.hhsc.org. Kauai.hhsc, kauai.hhsc.org. This is the way you're going to come, and it's right here, the big purple square. January 15th, I believe it's sold out, but you can still try. 19th, 22nd from 8 till noon by appointment only. So you come to this website and you click right here, bam. And there it is. You fill out this request form, you fill out this consent form, and it's all linked. It's all right here. Boom. That's your contact information. Oops, wrong one. And your consent form.
Yeah.
And then you email it right here, kauaicovid19.hh. Everything is here. Everything you need is on this site. Download the forms. You can type it in online and print it out, and then you email it to kauaicovid19.hhsc. On this form, you will see that you get to pick Friday, Tuesday, or Friday. First option, second option. I would shoot for Tuesday and Friday right now because I'm told that Friday they're booked out.
Okay, Mel, let me kind of like interject something right now.
Uh-huh.
We're basing everything we're telling you on the assumption that you're computer savvy. Okay, I see people saying some people don't have access. please get to somebody, or if you're watching and you know of somebody that may need help, please help them out. If you need to, go to the site, print out the form, and then have them fill it out. Okay, print out the form, have them give it back to you, and you go email it, go scan it, and go email it back to HHSC. Okay, because I know there's a lot of kupunas out there that may not be computer savvy, and we can all do our part by helping them. If you know somebody that may need help, go for it, help them, because we don't want this opportunity to pass. Okay.
I I talked about the caregiver. If you have a caregiver, and I know a lot of you are asking, like Charlie just said, listen, if you know this is available and you know someone that doesn't have computer, then go do it for them. Like Charlie said, don't make it an obstacle. Just go get it done. Just go get it done. Call them up. Hey, Auntie, we did that with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law doesn't have a computer. We did it for her. And she's gonna go with Patsy on Friday, next Friday. Well, we're hoping. We gotta. It takes about 2 days for them to process, and then they'll get back to you with an appointment date and time. Now, this is important. If your caretaker that's taking you wants the shot, then they need to fill a form as well. So make sure you have two sets of forms with the same dates and times selected on both forms, and they're gonna coordinate it so you get the shots together. Amazing. So there's no more excuses for Kauai, 75 and older. All right, this is being made available for us. We need to take advantage. So again, if you know someone that is not watching Mel and Charlie, or does not know, listen, I posted this up today. I had a couple of messages that people had not even heard that this was available. I don't read the Garden Island paper. I don't know where else they're putting this up. So please, I found out from my coworker who told me Monday. He told me on Monday, hey, bro, you know that the 75-year-old can, and that's how I found out about it. That's Coconut Wireless, no can beat. So listen, 75 and older, caretaker, no more age limit. I saw someone earlier put 65. No, there's no age limit. So get your caretakers, get your kupuna out there. Two of you will get vaccinated, and let's get it done, people. This is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Well,
Do not let this.
let me also say that what Mel just showed you is Kauai. Now I know there's going to be some confusion because we had some people from Oahu looking at this, and we've already had reports that some said, "Oh, they said this, they said that. Our island is different." Yes, each island is different. Why are they doing it this way? We don't know. Could be that maybe Kauai is ahead of schedule, so they're pushing it. They're pushing it hard. Okay, if you're on Oahu, you need to check with them. Okay, I know some said, well, whether it's a CDC guideline or whatever. But again, when these vaccinations are made available, it's rolled out to the state. The state has a vaccination program, and that's when they distribute to each of the islands, and they have the islands responsible on how they're going to distribute. So their time frame may be a little different. Okay, I can only say that Kauai is speeding up the process. Okay, and there may be a likelihood of rules changing where it's going to be 65 and older, next week or so. So they, don't quote me on it. I'm just saying if that happens, it's because Kauai is ahead. You need to check that for Maui. You need to check that for the Big Island of Hawaii Island, as well as Oahu. So please, I don't want anybody to watch this show and say, "Oh, but we heard it on Mel and Charlie show. We can do this." What was posted is for the island of Kauai. Okay, there is HHSC on each island. Oahu has one. Big Island Hilo Medical Center is HHSC. Yeah, I don't believe they have one on Maui. For the Big Island, you might want to check with Hilo General. If they're HHSC and they're following in line what we're doing, then probably you can do it the same way there if you're watching our show tonight. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that so there's no confusion.
Yeah. um, Go to the, I guess if you're on Oahu, go to your county website, go to the State Department of Health website. I'm sure you can find the information there. Yeah, the KVMH website, the Wolf, Mahilona website's not going to have that info. You got to go to kauai.hhsc.org. That's where you can get it. That's where you get it.
Stephanie
People
said
asking
he
about
don't come.
under if you're under 65, if you're a caretaker or caregiver, if you're under 75 and you want to get that vaccine, go find a 75-year-old person that doesn't have a caregiver and go get them over there and get the shot. Um, but other than that, we gotta wait. We gotta wait till we get to phase two. But that's gonna be a while. So for those, let's protect as many kupuna as we can. Okay, let us make that. Let's challenge ourselves to go um, protect as many kupuna as we can. And if you can get a shot as a result, awesome. I was supposed to get my shot tomorrow. I got a little bit of bad news today from my doctor. She doesn't want me to take it because when I had my hepatitis vaccine back when I was in the police department, I had a bad reaction to it. So she's said, per CDC guidelines, if you had a bad reaction to any prior vaccine, they want you to hold off. So while I'm a little bummed, I'm also, what do you do? What do you do? I mean, your doctor tells you hold off, But aside from that, everybody should get this vaccine. My wife is going to get it with her mom next week. Uh, I'm going to talk to my doctor again and see if I can, but it is what it is. Not everyone can get it, but for those of you that can, please, please, please go get it. And this is an opportunity. Wilcox Hospital is offering the vaccines for people that are 75 and older. You just got to schedule online. Not sure if you have the link. If you have the link for Wilcox, I just pulled up the Hawaii Pacific Health. They said you need to have the My Health app or My Chart app. I wasn't going to post that up. I'm just telling you, the easiest way, people, call your doctor. Call your private doctor and ask them. They should have the information. But if you have the My Chart app, according to the website from HPH, you can book your vaccine appointment there. Okay? Listen, people, opportunity we cannot miss. We cannot let this go away. The
Mhm.
other thing I heard, Charlie, and this is, I don't know, maybe you can get your feelers out there. I mean, you may already know. We've
Mhm.
had a couple of complaints that we have people from the mainland, I know on Maui, getting the vaccine.
Part-time residents.
Uh,
Part-time residents.
yes, they're coming in and from the mainland to get the vaccine.
Yeah, they're
So,
using that part-time residents. But
um,
but this is what I heard. I checked on that. I don't know if you saw Dr. Lauren Pang today. He wrote, he did that article where they
I
turned away.
did.
Yeah, some of it had to do with that, my understanding, because of the questionnaire. Even if you're a part-time resident, they're gonna scrutinize that because what I understood is the part-time resident isn't figured into the population base. Like Hawaii, we have a lot of part-time residents. They're not figured into the population base. That's why we always worry that if everybody decide to come at one time, that so-called census is going to exceed. Because when these part-time residents are not here, they don't participate in the census, I don't believe. So having said that, they're going to scrutinize that. And I think, you know, in all fairness to people who make Hawaii their home, I think they should get it first. And yeah, I heard about it now. I heard about it. It was kind of disturbing. Kind of disturbing.
All right. Thanks to the power of technology, people, I'm going to do this real quick. This is for Kauai. We talked about the HHSC. This is Kauai, Hawaii Pacific Health, Wilcox Hospital. Dates and time by appointment only. Again, appointments can only be scheduled with if you have a MyChart account. If you have a MyChart account, or if you're already a patient, you will receive a notification. So you probably already have. If you didn't, if you don't have the MyChart, you can sign up for that, and you can do it at the Hawaii Pacific Health website. On Oahu, Tier 2 cruise terminal, it's the same thing through My Chart. So if you don't have My Chart and you're in Hawaii Pacific Health patient, go sign up for your My Chart so you can get that done. All right. All right. I
Oh,
told you I wasn't going
also,
to take long.
also, I did see, for those of you who are Kaiser members, okay, you go check with Kaiser because they're giving shots to their members right now. So you might want to check with them if you're a Kaiser member. But I know on Kauai, there is a Kaiser clinic, but they have participating doctors that that do both HMSA and Kaiser to participate because there is no Kaiser medical center here on Kauai, but there is a Kaiser clinic. So on all islands, I would urge you if you are on a Kaiser plan, and I'm assuming this, well, there is on Maui, uh, of course, Oahu, to check. If you're listening, go check with them. Members get access to the shots. Take advantage of it.
All right. Let me just, I just thanks to Larry Moises.
Yep,
If you go to,
my chart.
nope, if you go to wilcoxhealth.org forward
Vaccine.
slash vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
you get to this screen here.
Yeah.
So you can actually do it online, and they will get in touch with you when your appointment is ready. Okay. So there's many ways, people. Listen, if you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll send you the link. Send me a private message. I'll send you the link. But just know that there's opportunities out there. You see, the thing is, most people don't know it's available. Thank you, Larry Moises, for sharing that. WilcoxHealth.org forward slash vaccine for Hawaii Pacific Health patients. Or if you want to do the HHSC, you can bring a caretaker who can get a vaccine as well. So that's why I love this show, Charlie. Look how much we learn, man. Just in the last 10 minutes, all of us got more educated.
And promise me one thing, Mel. Tell the viewers out there, and I'm just speaking from experience. When you take the shot, whether this be a first, you'll know the routine once you take your first shot. So most of you that will take your first shot, please, if they tell you to sit in this area, it's for your own protection. Don't be on bottle head and hot head and try walk out. What they're doing is they're monitoring you to see if you have any kind of adverse reactions. Okay? Because you're right there, especially if you're going to do it at a clinic or the hospital, you're right there. Should something serious happen, they've got a medical attention. They're going to attend to you right away. So please, when you take the shot, if they tell you to sit there for 20 minutes, don't feel inconvenienced. Just sit there for 20 minutes. And if everything is thumbs up, then you can go knowing that nothing will happen to you. Please do me that. Because we read the horror stories about the nurses in the mainland and the UK had was a serious allergic reaction. Okay, down for the count kind. But there were doctors there and everybody, and they nailed her with the epi and she's fine. Okay. And because of my situation with open heart, I actually took my EpiPen with me because I did have an allergic reaction to meds, but they thought it wasn't enough to disqualify me from this go round. So they did it, but they had me right there. I had my pen out just in case. Now I don't know if it would make me so loopy that instead of stabbing myself in my leg where you're supposed to stab yourself with a pen, I stab myself in the eye and see if you know faster reaction. I don't know. But that's why they want you to stay there. Okay?
And most importantly, for those of you that get the vaccine, right? You get your first shot, you get 45% immunity. You get the second shot, you're supposed to be 100%. Um, the only thing we do know, the only thing we know from the trials that were done, the only thing we know is that that vaccine is going to help you or protect you from getting really sick. That's the only thing we know. We don't know, no one knows how much immunity, meaning how much resistance you get from catching the virus or whether or not you can spread the virus. We don't know that, okay? So contrary to what the lieutenant governor might be saying or anybody else, the bottom line is we don't know. And it's going to be a while before we find out. So the fact that you get the vaccine, one, two shots, doesn't stop you from being a carrier, doesn't stop you from catching the virus. So you get your shots, you still wear your mask, you still wear your still wash your hands, you still practice social distancing, you still stay away from gatherings. See, you cannot have one without the other. People got to understand that. And I know there's many comments made. You watch the morning news, you'll see it. You hear it from our leaders saying, you're gonna be immune. No, you're not gonna be immune. It'll probably save your life if you're vulnerable and you get the virus, but it's not gonna stop you from passing it on to a loved one or a friend or an acquaintance or whatever. So the fact that you get the shots doesn't mean you stop wearing your mask or stop practicing safety. Okay, people, you need to understand that, and we need to share that with everybody. Because there's quite a few people that think they're going to get the shot, then they're protected. Well, they're not protected from catching it, and they're not protected from spreading it. Very, very important. Very, very important.
Brother, I gotta ask you a question. What you just said, I think I know who you're referring to. But
If the shoe fits, bro.
let me ask you, how many people do you know of willing to put your reputation on the line and make a statement as such, right? When even the experts around the world said they don't know.
Yeah.
What makes you a genie in a bottle? That's what I'm going to call it, a genie in a bottle.
The the CDC, our country's CDC, the Director General from the International Vaccine Institute, Dr. Jerome Kim, told us this a long time ago. He told us this before they released the vaccine. But then you get people that are going to say, no, what you can do, you cannot protect people from themselves. It is what it is. That's why we try to inform and educate here on our show. Yeah, we're not doctors. We're not no scientists. We're not none of that. In fact, Charlie and I are probably two of the most low-level medical. I mean, we
No
just
life, no life.
local brothers. That's it. We just two local brothers that like talk story and invite you folks on and we share. That's what this is all about. But we know from people that we've had on the show that no, man, you guys got to be careful. Be very, very, very careful.
You know,
There was the talk
someone,
that the lieutenant governor was pushing the governor for July. We're not even 40,000 vaccines, and some of that was people's second shots. Now remember, one vaccine, a vaccination is two shots, so it's two doses. And we've only passed out, we've only given out 40, 40,000. So we, to even suggest that we would ask the governor to exempt people that got vaccinated from quarantine, knowing that they still may be carrying the virus and they still may be passing the virus. Irresponsible, in my opinion. I think it's irresponsible to even suggest that. But
I'm going to tell you,
he made no secret. That's what he's trying to do.
we're going to get one Lolo. They're going to come up with, okay, Hawaii approved. As long as you get the vaccine, you can come into the state. We're going to get one Lolo one next. Okay, I had my pneumonia shot. Can I? That can qualify me? I guarantee you. Go get one Okole. Gonna say, oh, I took my flu shot. So do I qualify? And somebody said, and I understand. Yeah, I saw it too. Reuters said that Moderna is saying, yeah, Moderna is saying that their product will last for 1 year. Okay, you've heard this thing called peer review, where they write up, they do studies, and they still got to do more studies. Okay, I kind of want to err on the side of caution that when there's a broad consensus that whether it's Moderna or Pfizer or AstraZeneca or Johnson and Johnson, if they have a broad review saying that yes, whatever you take, that will last a year, then you can probably take that to the bank. What I'm looking at is when one company says they will last a year, that's when you're going to have problem where everybody can try to fight for get that company's vaccine. Because what if uh, what if Pfizer comes out and says, well, ours have shown that it's going to last for 2 years. Guarantee everybody going to fight for try to get Pfizer. So just wait until the jury comes back on a broad spectrum of answers and says that, based on the studies on all the vaccines that have been produced for the population of this planet, it appears based on the studies and the data that it will last for about a year. Just don't take one company. I would caution you to just look at the whole thing. Look at the whole thing.
How many people do you know, Charlie?
Yeah.
Not personally, but how many people are you aware of that had been vaccinated a year ago
That
with
I know
COVID,
of.
or
COVID.
that you heard of? We didn't even have the vaccine a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So how the hell can they tell you if it's working after a year? How? No one knows. No, that was one of the things Dr. Jerome Kim made very clear to us. We don't know how long the protection will last. That was never tested in the trial. It was never tested. So I'm shocked. This is the first I've heard it. I'm shocked that Moderna would come out with that statement because they can, it's like buying a car and a guy say, hey, this car gonna last you forever. Sound good, you buy the car, but something gonna broke. I don't understand how the government will even allow Moderna to make a statement like that because we don't have anyone that has been vaccinated for a year to even see
Well,
what the level of
the I think the Moderna one, like the Pfizer, there were participants in the vaccination program that was about a year ago. Okay, but again, why I would be cautious. Remember, they said the numbers are so low. That's why they were kind of like, ooh, because normally it takes like 4 years worth, right? From what Dr. Kim said, or something like that,
right,
of
right,
constant test.
yeah.
This one was a rush job.
Well,
And so that's why everything is on an EUA. That's why it's going this route. So we're basically test subjects too.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, that goes without saying. I mean, that's all the people getting the vaccines now are that's you're gonna be monitored.
Yep.
You're gonna be monitored. I remember the big when the first person got the vaccine, first person, nowhere near a year ago. So
Mm.
there's no way. I mean, they were doing the trials,
Yeah.
but a year ago, I don't think so. I mean, COVID's not even been around a year. It took
Hmm.
them a while to even come up with a vaccine. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they can make that claim. But remember, Dr. Jerome Kim, Charlie, you asked the question for someone. Which one would you take?
Whichever one was
What
available.
did he say?
Yeah. Whichever one came to him first, or something like that. Yeah.
Whatever one is made available to me first.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's the mindset we gotta have. And listen, for those of you that have chosen not to, please, no offense, no offense. Everyone has a right, and I can understand. I've heard people that gave me reasons why they're not taking the vaccine. I totally respect that, and I've said it numerous times. Consult with your doctor, and let your doctor guide you in the right direction. So, but for those of you that have an opportunity, Oh, damn, I really cut my mustache tomorrow. For those of you that will take the vaccine, whatever one is made available, we'll get it. We'll get it. The sooner you get it, the sooner you be protected.
A lot of it is, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm coming from Area 51, but what I'm about to say is going to seem like I'm coming from Area 51. Okay. Like many of you, you read, you extrapolate information from what you see, you pick out the words that appeal to you the most. The ugly words, you leave it alone, right? I took the vaccine because I felt that there was a word from heaven that said take the vaccine, and I was just saying, you know what, I'm gonna take the vaccine. If anybody had anything to be concerned about, should be me. Having open heart surgery, having problems with the middle first. I've had numerous allergic reactions, but I still went ahead because I believe and trusted in the medical science that I shouldn't have anything to worry about. And so far, I'm doing good. So far, I'm doing good. The only thing that I'm little questioning is the science and because here you have two companies, right? One, you got to get them colder than ice cream, right? You got to get them so cold to the point that you see the movie Dumb Dumber, right? Put your lip on the pole, next thing you know, boom, your tongue stuck on the pole. One gotta be 94 degrees, minus 94 degrees. The other one don't have to be so 94 degrees. But then you get one coming out that can be room temperature, and you got another one coming out that only one dose is good enough. So me being near LA the way I am, I just like find out why is it that way.
Yeah. And I think we'll see more. We'll see more as time goes on. We'll see more people making the virus. I mean, making the vaccine as more data is collected
Mm-hmm.
over the next few years. I mean, I think we'll see. Because COVID is not going to go away. I mean, if anyone thinks COVID is going to go away, no, COVID is not going to go away. So
And
there'll
you
be
know what?
more.
If my hair fall out, I will blame the second dosage, brother.
Yeah.
If my hair fall out, I'll blame the second dosage and says, okay, gang.
It actually looks nicer though, Charlie. It looks really nice. Right? It really looks it really looks nice.
I don't know. I thought my wife, she gets mad. I said, this is my prison look.
Well, she's got a point. She's got a point. So yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow night, guys. Dr. Capoto Chong Hansen will be on tomorrow night. Oh man, I've been reading a couple of his posts. It's gonna be a firecracker tomorrow night. Make sure you join us tomorrow night. Friday, Feel Good Friday. We're gonna have some more small businesses that we hope you guys can
Yep.
support. And then right after I get off this call, I'm going to email Billy V and see if he can join us on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun, man. Saturday will be fun.
It will
So
be battle of the microphones. With
I just
all,
gonna sit back and shut my mouth and let him run the show, man.
that guy, he and his wife, they're really into the, hula halaus too. Some will say, we saw, yeah, there was a little hoo ha ha back a couple years back involving the hula halaus, but that's all been settled. And I gotta say, this guy is he does great things. He's just one of many that perpetuate the culture, and I'm so proud to know this guy. And it's funny, but I tell people, hey, try listen to the guy. You can close your eyes and you would never think that's Billy Lee. You know, I don't know if it's because we grew up in Hawaii. We all expected to be like New Yorkers. New Yorkers, they get their own slang, right? How they kind of twist the language a little. Hawaii, everything is pidgin. But I know one thing: if we got any parents who have your young kids watching, please let them know that I don't always talk like this. There's times that when I'm on stage performing, you're gonna hear my English gets a little tighter, and I get a little bit more professional until I had a couple of drinks in my system. Then it goes back loose again. But anyway,
Charlie has a beautiful stage voice as well. I mean, it's a very yeah. I mean, my mom worked at Coco Palm, so we spend a lot of time at Coco Palm, and
Hmm.
um, you know, we came across so many people on the stage. We got to meet so many people on the stage, and some people got it, some people don't.
Yep.
And you one of them, and Billy B, and there's so many others. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun night Saturday. It's gonna be a fun night. Hopefully he can make it.
Yeah. But if not, we'll get him on another night.
Yep,
And
yep,
because
absolutely.
because he works at I believe he works at Hawaii News now. He works with Howard Dykes on the rest of the gang, the morning show, right?
Yep, they have the fun crew. They have the
Yeah.
fun crew.
So you would definitely think that he has the ability to kind of give from his perspective as a news commentator, if you want to call it that. I don't know the exact name for it, but being on the news, being in front of the camera, what he hears about COVID and how what's their approach. And I'm pretty sure there's producers that say what you can and cannot say, or how you script it to make sure that you don't put anybody on a defense. It'd be kind of interesting to hear their perspective on it.
Yeah. Well, we're honored to have them. So anyway,
Yeah.
Charles, it is 8 o'clock, bro.
Yes.
Any closing comments, sir?
Well, I would today, not to make fun, but I I'm just glad. First of all, my condolences goes out to the individuals on both sides of the argument that lost their lives with um, the Capitol riot. Honestly, shouldn't have happened, but it did. What hurts even more is law enforcement personnel, because like like both of us, Mel, it's never easy when we don't know the person personally, but when they're a fellow in blue, it kind of hits home. So my condolences goes out to his family as well, and I just that should never have happened. But I'm sure they'll get down to everything and we can move on. Hopefully, we can move on. And just like with this COVID, there's times that Mel and I will come on, we'll beat around the bush, and like I said last night, we have covered this issue from as many angles as we can. Now, you'll see a lot of good shows online that will address COVID. Maybe they'll do it maybe twice a week. We've been doing this most of the time for 6 days a week since it started, and it's not easy. And I hope and pray you folks enjoy what you hear. You know, when when I start getting kind of giddish and I start laughing, it's because that's just me. I gonna laugh. I'm not making fun of nobody. I just gonna start cracking up inside because I think of things that throughout the day I was thinking that maybe I don't know if you saw on YouTube, there one guy dressed up like one tree, standing in one pot, and he's right in the main mezzanine of with a lot of people pass. And as soon as they get close, he goes, ah, he scares them. And that kind of stuff just rocks my world. I start laughing when I see that. And I'm thinking about doing that. But be my luck, they're gonna say, Uncle Charlie, we know that's you. Because they don't make trees that big in one pot that small. So I go, gee, thanks. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for your kindness, for just watching us, staying in there and putting up with our nonsense. And I hope whatever we are able to share on a serious note, that you'll be able to take it and help you in whatever way it can.
Thank you, Charlie, and thank you all for joining us again tonight. Hope our information was informative, guys. HHSC.org. You can get all the information there. WilcoxHealth.org/vaccine. You can get the information there as well. Get your vaccines if you can. We want to get everybody protected here. You know what? I mean, it's come to the point where for me, I want to do everything we can to keep everybody safe. I want to do everything we possibly can, and if it means calling people out, we will call people out. If it means raising issues that the others are not raising, we're going to raise them because we think it's that important. We're not here to beat up nobody. We're not here to embarrass anybody, but we are here to inform and educate with the truth. And we appreciate you guys joining us here every night. Tomorrow night, Dr. Capono Chong Hansen, 7 o'clock. Awesome. That'll be an awesome show again. Friday, good, feel good Friday. And of course, Saturday, we're going to find out if Billy is going to be joining us. All right. So until tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, please stay safe. Take care of each other. Love each other. We love you. Aloha. See you guys.